The voice actor in the booth of this went. "Meh, meh, 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 meh." The funny thing too is that back home they probably just think he's dead now, right? Because he's been gone for hours. Like they probably just think he's fucking dead. The diddler just refuses to give up. He's like, "Oh, is that Little Red Riding Hood? Don't mind if I do." A lot of Isekai would be afraid to do this, right? Anytime, it doesn't matter how strong the opponent is, you'll always overcome it. The fact that he had to actually give up and just lure it away is something you don't see every day. I wonder if he'll have to raise his intelligence to do more screens, basically. So every 200 in his intelligence, he can do another share. That's pretty crazy, huh? Like, I've obviously seen being able to see it through other people's eyes, but I've never seen that many screens, basically. Oh, the fish can actually swim through things. Huh. The bear. Oh, golden shower. Over the many weeks of me talking about Hell Mode, I've had a very common comment throughout all the weeks. People don't believe me with how much I enjoy the show and how good I think it actually is. Do I think it's a 10 out of 10 masterpiece? As I've said consistently, no. But do I think it's one of the most creative isekais in terms of its mechanic system of the past handful of years? Yes. The way this kid is a summoner, which summoners, very common class in video games, anime, manga, light novels, whatever. But they are continuously doing things with his summons that I haven't really seen before. And the more mechanics that I see, the more I keep saying it feels like playing a JRPG. It doesn't play, it's not an MMO, it's not a normal, it's a JRPG. The main thing that hooked me in this episode was twofold. One, it's an isekai that actually forced your MC to run away. Bro just wasn't capable. He had to run for 3 fucking days because he couldn't beat the creature in question. Respect, you don't see that all too often. That's enough for me to say, you know what, I appreciate it. But what really stole the show was this right here. Why is this man's eye glowing? Well, he's a summoner, right? He has a new ability called Share. I thought Share was going to be we could communicate with each other, like we'd be able to read each other's thoughts and have proper communication. No, he can actually see through his summon's eyes. And depending on how his intelligence stat is, every 200 intelligence that he has, he can increase the amount of screens he has. So very similar to your computer based on how powerful it is, how much it can run, very similar to his own mind. And he can summon quite a few creatures, so it makes sense that there is a limit to how much his mind can process. And the fact that a character is now going to have to get used, because you have to imagine this got to be nauseating, having multiple screens active and you're seeing through all of them at the same time. Going to be an adjustment period. You can criticize that, is the production the best thing of the season? No. Is the narrative the strongest thing of all time? No. He really is playing it like a video game while simultaneously trying to treat the in-universe family as a real living family, because for them it is real. But this is a really fucking clever show that does not get the credit and respect I think it deserves. Now, of course, got this far in the video, help show your support, drop a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell if you haven't already, but Patreon for live reactions to all these Hell Mode episodes do live over there, which does help on the channel, so do consider supporting if you enjoy my work. We cover it every single week over there, even if we don't every single week cover it over on YouTube, but I've been fucking enjoying it. And on the topic of him having to run away, this is a really great moment. So up until this episode, he hasn't really, well, I guess when he was back on the farm, he sort of struggled and then would have to regroup, but it didn't really feel to the same degree, because what ends up happening is there's no like army and shit really around, and a B rank, I think it was, ends up running amok, right? And this big boy is a big boy. Like, he did pierce its eye. He did a David and Goliath thing and was actually able to wound it. But after, it's a smart enough beast that after losing one eye, every time he tried to get the other eye, he would dodge it. And nothing was working. He'd summoned 10 Butterfrees and its stun spore did nothing. So he basically for 3 fucking days ran before returning back home. And you don't see that often. Most of these shows, especially given how strong they've already made Alan feel as an MC, it's very common for him, no matter how much of a struggle, he's gonna just win. He'll find a way. He'll come up with a solution. And to be honest, I think there was probably ways with what they've laid out about his character that should he have beaten this thing, I would have believed it. But the fact that he actually had to just return home, but it's not like he just returned home and brought it with him. No, he dragged that thing away far enough that by the time he returned, it wasn't going to be an issue. I assume, though, because he did this, that's the reason the dragon ended up moving. Because what they end up confirming near the end of the episode is that there was a dragon that was in a mountain, and the mountainside has a lot of mithril, which is obviously very valuable, right? In most video games or fantasy world, that would be like the highest quality ore. They haven't been able to mine it for so long because there's a A-rank dragon. Like, if you were to defeat this dragon, you get 1,000 gold coins. That's insane. For reference, the fact that he dragged that monster away from the village earned him 20 gold coins. So you can see the value of it. He's not going to be able to defeat a dragon as it stands. So I think he'll fight the dragon? Probably. But if it's a collective army effort, I think there's ways to write it. But it's very fascinating, right? Because the fact that you drag a monster deep into the forest, that monster probably caused that dragon to up and leave. Maybe they had a conflict. I don't know. But the issue is that in theory, they can now mine the mountains, but where's that dragon going to come? If the dragon comes to their town, I mean, it's going to be interesting. This is what I mean, though. There's actually a lot of complexities at here that a lot of people overlook. Like, oh, it's just some kid playing a video game, right? But there's actually quite a bit. Like, look at the very end of the episode, right? So he uses his new abilities to check in on his family, right? Because now he has a bird that he can just fly and see through his eyes. So now he's dropping gold coins for his family. He says, I'm going to do this every month. If he finds a way to be able to speak through the animals too, we'll basically have a communication relay, and they'll be fantastic. The daughter of the family that he serves, she was kind of a bitch to us at the start, and it's really hard to pinpoint exactly when it happened, but she kind of randomly flipped her tune one day, but not in a way that distracted me or I thought felt like unnatural. But just given the brother coming home and stuff, she now very much cares for him. Like, she's still got that bit of bratty attitude, but nothing about her behavior towards him anymore feels toxic. And that's really refreshing because I thought they were going to drag that out a lot longer because that's how it is. It's like, oh, here's the girl who's clearly going to fall in love with him, but she's going to be a bitch to him, and then he's going to have to take it because technically that's his boss. No, they've actually done quite well. She is a troll, but she's not toxic like she was in the first couple of episodes of us interacting, right? And honestly, it's silly as fuck. But the way all the summons have very unique mechanics, like this flopping ass fish is what buffs all of his other things. Yeah, you freeze on this looks very noticeable, but honestly, in motion, it doesn't look bad. It actually is a very fun, it feels like playing a JRPG. That's the best way I can sum it up. And something I noticed about this episode is that when we're in the forest, I don't really have an issue with any of his summons. Like, I feel like it blends in very, very well. But when it comes to the bright kind of city environment, I felt like I noticed it more. I don't know why exactly, but it's quite fascinating. Either way, this show is fucking great. No one believes me how good it is, though. Like, the people who are like actually watching it like are constantly like, no, I get you, Brian. Like, this show's really, really fun. I've had actually a lot of people say this is one of the shows they look forward to the most, and that makes me really happy. But as I continue to gush about the show, I get increasing amounts of comments. You're glazing mid. It's like, no, you just have a shallow mind, and unless a YouTube channel with 6-figure sub count tells you to enjoy something, you won't think for yourself, and therefore follow them and only watch JJK. Not saying you shouldn't watch JJK. It's a great show too, but these are great shows as well. Your thoughts down below, though. Drop a like, share, support, subscribe, ring that bell if you haven't already, and Patreon for live reactions do live over there to all these episodes, because we do cover it every week. Even if we don't talk about it on YouTube every week, we watch it every week, and it's so fucking fun. And hey, if you're already over there, I'll give you a video show because my patrons are what make it all possible over here. All right, so today we got Eric Barton, Arnis, Jeff, Dawn, Restart Coon, Squealton, Shadow Cyber Demon, Benjamin Margolis, and Jessica Compton. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. You all have a good one.